Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back from the brand new video. In today's video we are here on a monumentous occasion ahead of what is a massively important night, not only for the players on the park but the gaffers at the side and all the fans surrounding this football club, as we have a huge Champions League playoff. And excuse me if you've heard this before, people, but I'm sitting here feeling like Bill Murray in a cult classic, people, because I'm here to say it's PSV again. And that's why I thought I'd go back and replicate last season's kit, people, because there is an air of familiarity against the opposition, against the prize that's on the table for both sides. But the longer you watch today's video, you will find it's not just a simple copy and paste job. Both teams are different. PSV has a lot that we actually need to break down and discuss. So if you find yourselves enjoying the content at any point, please consider hitting that like button or subscribing if you're new. It is a massive Champions League night ahead of us, so any support would be greatly appreciated. Or if you want to wait to see if this video or channel's worth either of those things, let's go ahead and try to earn it. And as always, we will start off with the old positional preview and have a look at this PSV side then, shall we? Who some clickbaits out there saying that PSV is fourth in the old table, and that is infuriatingly annoying clickbait, people, because the only reason PSV is sitting fourth in the Dutch league right now is because of goal difference. They've only played 2 games, they've won both their games. The only thing separating is, of course, being those 2 goals. And what you actually need to know about this PSV side before we get to the nooks and the crannies, this is an undefeated PSV side, because not only, again, have they started their Dutch campaign kind of off where they wanted it to actually be, but they've also won the Johan Cruyff Shield as the bet last season's league champions 1-0 in the cup final. So domestically they're firing. How about European football, where they're playing us new, people, which means they had a successful previous round in the European campaign. As I sat and watched the games for this preview to give you a wee bit more information, I felt like I was a wee bit of a lighter grade David Attenborough, people, sitting looking at a lion toying with its food, because that's how PSV played and that's how they looked as they massacred and destroyed the opposition. The scoreline maybe wasn't as sexy it could have potentially been, but that was a team that was having fun on the European stage. They weren't sticky or hard spells for them, no, they just went out there and controlled every aspect of the game, and they could have made anything they wanted it to be. So aye, not only are they undefeated in the league, domestic side, cup competitions and European football, this squad is actually undefeated, people, since the 16th of February. That's the last time this mob received anything but a W or a draw. And do you know who that was? Do you know the last team to beat them was in the Europa League, people, versus Seville? And if you pay attention, Europa League and Seville is like the Saudi Arabian League in money. It just goes hand in hand, because they are Europa League merchants, and it's no surprise when they do well in that competition. So aye, that's the last team to beat them, Seville, 16th of February. That's the test that we faced the Mora. They've played 10 in all competitions, scored 24, averaged 22 shots a game, whilst also having, or averaging I should say, round about 67% possession in every single game that they've played. That there is a side that chokes at life at you, whilst also peppering the goal. It does sound a little bit familiar, and it sounds like what we're trying to build at our own football club, but what I've seen so far, we're looking at what they've done so far this season, people, they're a hell of a lot further down that line of development than we are right now, trying to be that squad that can dictate and control the game but also make the other goal under serious fire. That has been the difference makers for me. And I mean, the only time they've actually went behind or looked like they were in a little bit of trouble was in their most recent game, where they went 1-0 down behind at half time. But I can't even take any solace out that or something to take, people, because do you know how they came out in the second half? Pissed off and angry, and looked like they were wanting to have a wee bit of fun, because they blew the opposition away in the second half and it finished 3-1, but it was about 3-1 gone on 8. This is a side that can turn it on within any second of the game. They've got game changers, they've got dangerous players from the base right all the way through to the wide areas. And look, it's not going to surprise anyone who's watching today's video to find out that a Dutch side plays a variation of a 4-3-3, you know what I mean? It's kind of what they did invent it, so it's not going to surprise anyone saying that. However, I do think we'll see a more of a 4-2-3-1 variation against Rangers with Veerman and Big Sanj, as we call him right here on the channel, sitting a little bit deeper in the middle of the park, getting on the ball, dictating the ball. They love to pin oppositions in and have every single player, their centre-backs, their full-backs, everybody in the opposition's half, and the two centre midfielders that we've already mentioned will be sitting there orchestrating the entire machine. That's the game right there. I know we have our jokes about Joey Veerman. We obviously wanted him at the football club. The club failed in getting the lad in. He will be more determined than ever to right the wrong that he believes was done last season, and all the abuse that he not only got from Rangers fans, but the Dutch media speaking out saying he didn't feel like Rangers deserved to go through. Well, all the pressure is now on him, and the thing you can say about the laddie is he is a tremendous talent, and he and Big Sanj is the game for me. If you can slow them down, you can take the ball away from them, you've got an opportunity. But if you sit off them and you let them just do what they do, could be a difficult afternoon for us, people. But you might be noticing, I'm sitting here saying they're playing a wee bit deeper. Does that mean they're doing lunchroom sitting beside centre-halves? No, they're sitting deeper, people, but they're still getting forward. They'll still be popping shots, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see Veerman have a shot on target or two, despite sitting in that holding midfielder role. It's slightly different than what we do and what we classify as holding midfielders that sit next to centre-halves, people. Slightly different in the old attacking mindset, that being. But where I've talked about a lot of pros and a lot of positives for them, because you have to do that, right? I'd love to sit here and say they're crap, but what's that justify? What's that giving anyone who's watching the video? This is a very, very good side that's feeling good about themselves. There is a bit of an air of invincibility about them, or invisibility, if you get that reference. But that's how they come in. They're fully confident, they're an attacking side, but everything I'm talking about sort of almost plays into our hands being in European football. Because what do we do in European football? Do we play the exact same way as we do in domestic football? Thankfully no, because we'd bore the tears out of everyone in Europe. We normally sit a little bit deeper, and we normally pray for the counter-attack, and if there is a side that is acceptable to the counter-attack, it is PSV. Van Aanholt playing at one side, and then obviously Big Tez at the other. They are two fullbacks that's a hell of a lot more interested in going forward than they ever are going back, and they will be not only forward, they will be further forward than anybody else almost on the park. And yes, it does sound very familiar, people, especially with watching Rangers. You could say we're playing our big ugly cousins, if you actually want to say that. There is a hell of a lot of similarities in how they want to play, and if they're going to come and do that at Ibrox, you know what that's leaving? Not 5 yards of space, not 10 yards of space. That's leaving 30 yards of space behind them every single time we touch a football. And for me, the wing areas, the area that's been a problem for us so far this season, is the way we actually win this game. If we're going to get beyond them, if we're going to hurt this side tomorrow, it is in the wide area. So look out for that, and imagine that's where we'll be targeting. And that's why I think Michael Beale's made the decision he's made regarding the likes of Rabbi Matondo, and more on that on just a few minutes, because I feel like now we can just naturally drift from the PSV end. I spoke about them. Very, very good side. Great side, you could argue, on occasion, but they have obviously got one glaring weakness. They do give the opposition opportunities and chances at goal. Even the games they've been dominating and licking their lips and having fun in games, there's still one or two clear-cut chances they give away every single game, just because of the way they play. There's no way to counteract it for them. They can't slow that down because they lose what they're good at. We will get chances in the game now. It needs to be on us to be good enough to take those chances. There's no 22 goals anymore. People were slaughtering him, saying he was crap for only having 13 goal contributions in his opening 14 games and scoring back-to-back goals versus PSV. He's not there anymore. It's the time for other people to show up. Need to take them when they actually arrive. And for me, that gives us right to the big decision that's been made by Michael Beale, when there is pros and cons. Everyone has an up and a down, if you catch my drift, because where it does make sense, Rabbi Matondo has been included in the squad. And if you think back to a preview ahead of Morton, people, even the likes of Morton, I did say if he has another good game, he has to be in the conversation for PSV, because I was already looking at PSV then, and I know where they're weak. You need pace, people, especially in European Cup competitions. Wingers aren't a dying art. If you've got good ones, they can be massive for the team, and I'm not saying he's a great one or even a good one, but he's shown He's got pace, and for me, the inclusion from not being in the European squad to being included ahead of PSV is a clear signal that Michael Beale will be looking at those wide areas and saying that there is where we hurt them. The Seamas and the Rabbi Matondo are our two quickest players in the squad by far, and I imagine both of them will have their say whether or not Rabbi's starting or not. That would be a massive call on a home European night versus PSV, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the laddie have an important part to play, whether it goes right or not. But we've included him, and I do agree with the decision to include Rabbi Matondo, because you might all be laughing and mocking him and telling him crap, and it might go wrong the more, but he could be a game winner and he could be a game changer. I'm not being sarcastic here, people. Where that is a positive, we need to speak about the negative, because there were 2 players removed from the European squad that was included last time, and 2 people included. Rabbi Matondo and Ben Davies has been included. Yilmaz, who again isn't anywhere near fit, has been withdrawn from the squad, as has Hagi, and it's the Hagi conversation where I need to go next, because for me this is very confusing and frustrating. For me, he had what he had to say in his press conference after Morton, and I agree with every single word that he said. If you haven't seen it or anything, I'll just give you a wee quick summary. He said he doesn't agree with the decision that's been made by the manager not to play him more or start him more, but he respects the manager. He's as fit as he's ever been. He's worked his arse off to get back to where he is, and he just wants an opportunity to play football. And how has Michael Beale responded to that emotionally driven, passionate, in the veins plea to play for this football club? He's dropped them for the European squad in the next game. And again, you could argue that it's no, and I'm sure there'll be stuff said in the pressers and everything like that. I can't even be bothered listening to anymore because they're constantly contradictory. He says one thing, does the other. So I know there'll be stuff said, oh, it's maybe a tactical thing, but it does feel like Hagi's time has well and truly been stamped at being over, and I think we should be preparing to say goodbye to the Sweet Prince, despite the fact that it's Michael Beale's first action as a manager. Wasn't it to give Kent a new deal? Wasn't it to give Arfield a new deal, and Morelos a new deal, any of these boys new deals? He walked into this football club and gave Hagi a new deal, and then fed him it in minutes, and now where his value's about as low as he is, he's barely playing him and giving him substitute appearances versus Morton. So it's infuriating for me being a Rangers fan, because yes, maybe he doesn't tick all the boxes in terms of wingers and everything in this game versus PSV, but you can't deny that this man wants to play and he's passionate, and he gave us a lot more than what other has. It'd be fair enough if you were playing crap and playing great, and all the new players were ahead of him, and you're just saying, you know what, Hagi's time's done because he's not getting anywhere near them. But they're all playing gash. People, they're absolute playing horrendous. Why can't Hagi play or get an opportunity to start a game? And it's infuriating, people, and that's all I wanted to say about Hagi. He won't be included in the European squad. He's been took out of the European squad, and for me, I would be very surprised if he's here by the end of the transfer window. Now that he's spoken out and it's not been well received by the club or anything like that, or well received by Michael Beale, or certainly what it appears like on paper. Again, might be White, maybe Beale doesn't care and he'll say what he says, but actions speak louder than words, and I wish that something this Rangers team, the management, the coaching staff and the players realised as well. But sorry for a wee bit of a rant and a tangent there. I just imagine it's going to go this way, so I just wanted to get my thoughts and opinions out. I would love to know your opinion on this decision made regarding Hagi. I think there's other players you can withdraw from the European squad that's not absolutely vital for tomorrow, that could have been sacrificed more ahead of the likes of the creativity, the flair and the determination of a Hagi. It is a game changer. You've got to play him in games for an opportunity to actually change them. It's kind of how it actually works. But that's my thoughts and opinions. What about you regarding the lad? And regarding the rest of the Rangers team, people, I think it nearly picks itself, and I think it's quite clear what we need today, so I'm not going to go too much detail. I've already discussed it. I think we will be more counter-attacking in this one, and if Sima can just turn it on and be the guy that he can be, like I said, the exact same for Rabbi, the wide areas could win us this test. It's not an impossible test. PSV is very good, but we bet them last season when they were very good, and we had a PE teacher from the MLS playing at centre half. People, it can be done, even if our game changer and winner, or the guy that really got us through that test, Tillman, is playing on the other side. And I didn't want to really address this because obviously potential jinx and everything like that, but you know what I thought of that laddie. I think when I watched Rangers this season, and I see how slow and turgid and poor it's been, and how passive and very little creativity that we've actually seen in the final third. I looked at Tillman, and say what you want about the laddie, if his body attitude or his body language, whatever, didn't look great, he brought that stuff to us. He was our best attacking statistical midfielder we've had in 7-8 years in this football club, people. We have to go back to the lower leagues when everyone was scoring for fun for someone to beat the likes of Tillman. So aye, we are playing against him, and I just hope that every single person who said this laddie doesn't turn up in big games doesn't get shown that this laddie can turn up, because he's in the squad, he's at PSV, and aye, let's hope he keeps quiet and Malik doesn't be the guy that I know he can be. So aye, for me, Veerman is still the main man for them. It gets the mall ticking, in my opinion, along with his centre midfield partner, but Tillman could be either the winner for them, and I hope he certainly isn't. It's on the other new signings that's been brought in to show that they can replicate that. So I want to see that battle won on the Rangers end. Counter-attack, go wide, get in the mixer, and hopefully take your chances when they come. That's all I've got to say. Do I believe we can do it? Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Despite PSV looking as impressive, their weaknesses could play into our strengths, and it's all got to be won and lost during a game. So I'll back us to come away with a slight advantage of Rangers 2. You know where I'm going next. PSV 1. The channel favourite, people. I'm bringing it back one more time. But aye, this could go either way. Could be a cricket score. Could go very bad for us. Or it could be a narrowly 1-0 type match. And I take any type of win and any type of advantage going there next week. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions and your predictions down in the comment section below. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Sage over 92. I will see you tomorrow late after the game of football, hopefully smiling from here right to there. But until then, thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye bye.